You know why we're here. News! Matt in the building. What's good, y'all? Hope you're having a blessed day. First things first, before I get into anything, there is so much information. This video will be 30 minutes long instead of making a real long video. Here's what I'm going to do. If y'all want to see another video tonight of information that I've received that Nick and other people have deleted, we'll talk about, get this video to 1,000 likes before 8 p.m. and we'll do that. You know how I rock on this channel. I don't beg you guys to like videos or subscribe. The only time I say it is so I know that you guys want to see another video, because when I set likes or like goals, it lets me know that you guys want to see it. You get the point. If you like the video, you want to see it. If you don't want to see it, you don't like the video. Let's continue on. If you haven't heard by now, and if you're living under a rock, to make a long story short, this big time YouTuber known as Briz, he's had a fallout with one of his teammates known as Chris. I'm not going over all the information and details on that situation because, quite frankly, if you want to know, you can go watch the previous video. It's 14 minutes long and I explained everything you need to know. But however, like I said in the previous video, I speculated we'll know more things the next day, and what do you know, it's the next day. I thought last night things were bad for Nick. However, today they got really, and I mean really worse. I know most YouTubers, including me, sometimes I try to hype up situations and say, oh man, this is really bad, this is terrible. I don't even know if that does it justice, guys. I don't think you quite understand the implications of what Chris just accused Nick of. It's 2021. You know how everyone is nowadays. They're insanely soft. I don't know why, but for some reason we have this cancel culture. Don't get me wrong, the cancel culture can be good because, like with the EDP, if you know who that is, he got canceled for the right reasons. On the other hand, you'll see people getting canceled for really nothing that's that big of a deal. What I'm about to get into and what I'm about to tell you that Chris has said about Nick and some other people have said, it's borderline career canceling. If you're sort of lost in this whole mess, I understand why. There's a lot, and even I don't know all the pieces. If you have some time on your hands and you want to know what's really going down with this, last night Chris went live on YouTube not once, not twice, but 3 times. The videos are still on his YouTube. He's got one 25-minute one, one 36-minute one, and one 43-minute one. And every single one, he's basically exposing Nick. I'm not going to repost a bunch of the clips in this video, if any at all, because you can go watch it on his channel if you're curious. But we're going to talk about some of the big accusations that Chris said. If I miss out on some things that you thought were important, you have to understand I can't talk about every single thing that Chris said. I'm touching on the main ones that stuck out to me. Throughout most of one of his lives, he was showing voice recordings of Nick saying the videos were fake and everything like that, and that went on for 20 to 25 minutes. So that part is true right there. We literally have video evidence of Nick faking his videos. You can feel how you want about that. To me, not that big of a deal. It's YouTube. Almost everything you see is fake. But where things got out of hand and I somewhat started to lose my respect, and you know, I didn't have a lot for Nick Briz, but I did have some respect for him because of his grind. I lost a lot of that when I saw this. Once again, I have to throw in there, this information isn't coming from me. I'm the news guy. I'm relaying this. This is coming from Chris himself. And when I'm going over some of this information, please do not run to the comments and write hate comments about Nick and do all this just yet, because I have to tell you something before you do. Let's jump straight into it. One big thing that Chris has been talking about that's been getting Nick a lot of hate is that apparently Nick is bringing in $40,000 to $45,000 a month just off of YouTube. To put that into a better perspective, I mean this with the most respect possible. There's teachers out there. If you're in high school or college, or not college, but if you're in high school, your teachers are barely making $40,000 in 1 year. And Nick is bringing that in 1 month. And that's good for Nick. I'm never going to hate on a man for having success, because whenever I see success, it motivates me. There's a red flag with this. According to Chris, remember, this is Chris, not me, Nick isn't paying any of his players. Chris has came out and said that Nick isn't paying him and Chris is making his own money from YouTube. Hold on, pump the brakes. That's where things start to get a little contradictory because that's what Chris said at the beginning. However, in one of his other lives, he said Nick did throw him $3,500. Why am I bringing that up? You'll just have to wait till the end of this video. It may change your perspective on this situation, that's all I'm going to say. Just keep that in mind, that originally Chris was saying Nick wasn't paying him at all, and then he sort of snitched on himself and said Nick is paying him a little. There's this whole thing going on. I feel bad for Carlos because it has been diagnosed by doctors that he does have, what's it called, autism. I believe it's autism. If I'm wrong, you can correct me down below. This has nothing to do with the situation. I want to say this to get it off my chest. I've seen comments on his Instagram and YouTube, and I'm talking about before all this was happening, where people are hating on him for no reason. If you watch any of his TikToks or Instagram videos or seen snippets of them on YouTube, from the start you could tell there was something, I'm not going to say wrong with him, but you get what I'm trying to say. He wasn't all there. I mean that in the most respectful way possible. That's how I saw it. Let me know if you understand what I'm trying to say. I don't understand. It makes no sense to me how people hate on Carlos. All he does is go out there and play basketball. I mean, come on. Is he the best basketball player I've ever seen? Absolutely not. But he goes out there and he tries and he's having fun. He's minding his business. Leave him alone. Why this is so controversial is it's being said that Nick is almost using Carlos like his puppet because Carlos doesn't know any better. Chris also came out and said in his live or video, whatever you want to call it, that Nick owns Carlos's YouTube channel and his Instagram. He controls it. Nick has also threatened Carlos if he leaves the Savage Squad, he's gonna take his Instagram and take his YouTube and everything. It's a tough situation because it seems like Carlos is cool with Nick and he appreciates what Nick is doing. At the same time, he is taking advantage of him. Look at it. Nick's making $40,000 a month and only giving Carlos $1,200 at minimum. And this is the very least. Carlos should be getting $3,000 a month, and that's minimum. I think he should be getting at least $5,000. He's treating Carlos like he's a sidekick or a side character in his videos, when in reality, a lot of people click on the videos to see Carlos play. He's a main guy. I could sit up here all day and we could talk about for hours and hours and hours how it's not right what Nick is doing to Carlos. But we have to remember, and I want you to install this in your brains, all this information I just told you, this is according to Chris. We haven't heard Nick's side of the story and we haven't heard Carlos's. I'm not saying Chris is lying. All I'm saying is keep an open mind. There's two sides to every story. We've talked about Nick before on this channel. I think you know where I stand on him. I'm not a hater. I'm not a fan. I'm in the middle. I have no say in this argument. I'm just here reporting the news. Anytime I give my opinion or my take on anything we talk about on this channel, I can guarantee you one thing. It's going to be the real truth and it's going to be some real stuff. The reason I'm not going to be extremely harsh and start criticizing Nick and calling him a bad person just yet is because of this, and I want you to think about this. How would you feel if one of your friends in real life out of nowhere went on the internet and said you were a thief and you robbed a bank with no proof? And then to top that off, all of his fans, let's say he was big on social media like Chris is, all of his fans, they're going to believe him, and even some of your fans are going to take his side when he has no proof whatsoever. You'd feel some type of way about it, and you wouldn't want people out there in the public and online to believe that right away. That's what I'm saying with this. I know Chris has a little proof, but we haven't heard Carlos's side, and that's the main piece we got to hear. You want to know the sad part about all of this? We may never hear Carlos's side because Nick apparently has control of his Instagram. I don't know what's going on with that, but if he does have control over his Instagram and YouTube and he's almost brainwashing Carlos, that's the vibe I'm getting. Carlos may just stick to Nick's side. The entire Carlos situation and mess, it is insanely intriguing, and I'll leave it at that. It's not just that. We got some more stuff to talk about that I think is worse. I'm emphasizing this a lot. Take it with a grain of salt. On one of his lives, Chris said that Nick called a Uber driver the N-word with a hard R. I'm going to throw the video clip up on the screen. I don't think Chris will mind all that much. And if you want to go subscribe to his YouTube, I highly recommend it. It's not Chris, but it's CRSWHT. Go get that man to 100K. Matt, roll the clip.
I've literally listened to this. Yes, the hard R, bro. I've literally listened to this dude say that shit to an Uber driver, bro. Uber Eats delivery driver.
Well, not all too much to say about that, especially with everything going on in the world. Saying the N word alone is a big no-no, and then saying it with a hard R. I mean, that's according to Chris. Nick, I mean, without proof, it's hard for me to be like, oh, he did it. But I could see Nick doing that, I guess. But at the same time, I wouldn't want somebody to accuse me of that and then you guys believe it without no proof. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting the information out there. You can do what you want with the information. Also, in that same live, I thought this was interesting, and this is one I believe I'm going to go out on the record to say it. Chris has said he's seen Nick doing coke, and he does coke all the time, which is, a drug. If you don't know what coke is, I ain't talking about the Coca-Cola. Not the one you drink, but one you snort up your nostrils. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe you're going to feel what I'm saying. The way Nick talks, the way it seems like he's mad at the world. He's always trying to start a fight. I believe it. I mean, he's always tweaking. He looks like a tweaker that does coke to get amped up for some runs. And right here was the last straw with me. If this is true, I have no more respect for Nick. Chris says whenever they go into clubs and anywhere they go in public, Nick's always like, bro, don't touch me. Do you know how much I make? You can Google my net worth. Like, bro, come on now. Nobody cares about your net worth. It's good you're making money. I'm glad you're rich. I'm glad you're famous. But come on. You don't got to bring that up.
And goes into clubs, talks security it doesn't move out as fast as he says, and he goes, Google my net worth. I'm just like, ugh.
He also went on later to say how he has a terrible attitude, he's a terrible character, and I've said you gotta take it with a grain of salt because this is according to Chris. At the same time, let's look at it. Come on, Matt, get your words right. Let's look at it from this standpoint. Why would Chris lie about this, and how would he make all this up? I'm more on the side of believing Chris because just the way Nick acts, the stuff that Chris is saying, I can see him acting this way. I know what Nick needs. He needs to be walking in public, and then out of nowhere, someone just go up to him and Millie rock him. That's all he needs, and I think it might humble him. Not completely, but a little. Before we touch on the last thing that I thought was very vital to the situation, Chris said that anywhere they go, Nick, he's acting like he's God's gift, and he's the golden child, and he's this and he's that. Look, guys, I'm going to tell you this. If you're doing great in life, you should be humble. If you're doing bad in life, you should be humble. If you're making money like Nick is and you're famous, that's great. You don't have to brag about it and think you're this extra great person. At the end of the day, when it comes down to it, how much money you're making, it doesn't matter. And nobody deep down really cares. Oh, snap. I almost forgot to bring this up. Chris has said that Nick has over hundreds of fake accounts on Instagram and YouTube, and he'll go in there and talk trash and take up for himself in the comment section. I found that interesting. I also found this video clip on TikTok somewhere where Chris also said Nick was wanting to pay someone to fight Cash Nasty for a good title and thumbnail. That's ridiculous. That's too far. That's crossing the line. There's so much to this. There's going to be more in the coming days. I'm sure Nick, he may or may not come out with his own statement. He has posted stuff and deleted it, and I do have messages from him that you guys have sent me on Instagram. If y'all want to see that video, I'll talk about all of that. Let's get this video to 1,000 likes before 8 p.m. Central Time, and I'll drop the vid. Is Nick's YouTube career over? No, but all I'm saying is the main topic of this video is not a good look, and things have gotten worse, and I mean much worse. Not going to hold you guys here too much longer. Let me know in the comment section what you think about all this down below. But with all that being said, it's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what you done? Join the family. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out. Yeah. Deuces.